We have a very important topic to talk about today, and that is Iran might be coming after President Donald Trump. Yes, you heard that correctly. Iran might be coming after President Donald Trump, and that is something obviously we need to be very, very, very aware of. It is a dangerous situation. This, of course, comes after the United States carried out a massive strike on 3 nuclear facilities in Iran, devastating them. Although we have some more information we're going to talk about as well here about what moves the Iranians might be making, what they might be doing to rebuild that. But for now, it appears the Iranians plan on threatening President Donald Trump, and that's about as serious as it gets. And I'm going to talk about what the fallout might be, what the United States might do, what would happen if this actually went all the way, if this went as far as it possibly could. I think we all know the answer to that. But before we get into all of that and much more, please make sure to like and subscribe. It's totally free. Costs you guys absolutely nothing. Huge boost in the algorithm. Please comment with your thoughts below. Same thing, totally free. I'm trying to engage with the audience as much as possible, respond to as many as I can, and then hit that bell. Make sure all notifications are turned on. You won't miss a video. And as you'll see on the screen, so I'm now filming with a different platform. I'm on StreamYard. We're trying something new. This should make the graphic situation a little bit better. You can see my Instagram and X handle down there. Please make sure to follow me on both of those as well, because there's a lot of fun content. And then go check out my Tim Kennedy live stream that we did about the latest insane claim he made. So anyways, how did we find ourselves here? Well, we found ourselves here through a pretty simple situation. Israel launched a surprise attack, sneak attack, preemptive attack, whatever you want to call it, earlier in June, sparking a significant war between Israel and Iran with one objective. The objective was to take out, cripple, delay, slow down, use whatever terms you want, Iran's ability to enrich uranium and potentially pursue nuke. They'd enriched up to 60%, and weapons grade is 90%. You can cover that gap in 48 to 72 hours, according to some experts. Israel did a nice job with their air campaign. They did a nice job taking out launchers, air defense systems. They targeted military leadership, scientists, all of that stuff. A very serious, overwhelming air campaign. But the one thing the Israelis were not able to do, the one thing the Israelis could not do, was take out the underground facilities. That's where the United States came in. President Donald Trump authorized a massive bombing run on Fordow, which is the one underground. They dropped 12 GBU-57s on that bunker. Natanz, which they dropped 2 30,000-pound GBU-57 bunker busters. And then Isfahan, which was hit with right around 30 cruise missiles. So that is what the United States targeted, a total air package of about 125 planes, including 7 B-2 stealth bombers, F-22 stealth fighter jets, 52 aerial retankers. It was an incredible display of American military power. Military power you would never see any other military in the world ever dream of having. We talked a little bit about this on the live stream yesterday. There is no military that can do what we are doing. But now I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to throw this up on the screen for you here. The Iranians, let's see, we're going to see how this goes. Wrong one. We are going to do this one. That's coming later in the video. So here it says, breaking: Iranian Ayatollah issues death fatwa targeting Trump. Iran's Grand Ayatollah Nasser Makam Shirazi issued a fatwa labeling anyone who threatens Islamic leadership, including the supreme leader, as muharib. I don't speak this language, so I don't have a clue, to be honest with you. A status that under Islamic law carries the death penalty. This ruling is a direct response to U.S. threats and targets by President Trump. We'll add this one up there. This comes from, let me know in the comments what you think about the layout. If you like that I'm still on the screen while this is up, I'd love to hear your thoughts. It says, Iran's top Shiite cleric issued a religious decree against President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu Sunday, an act some experts called an incitement to terrorism. The fatwa from Grand Ayatollah Nasser Makram Shirzari called on Muslims around the world to take a stand, according to the New York Sun. It states that any individual or government that challenges or endangers the leadership and unity of the global Islamic community The Ummah is regarded as a warlord or a moharib, defined as someone who wages war against God under Iranian law. Those identified as moharib can face execution, crucifixion, limb amputation, or exile. Those who threaten the leadership and integrity of the Islamic Ummah are to be considered warlords, McCarran said in the ruling. He finished with a prayer asking for protection from these enemies and for the swift return for the Mahdi, a Masonic figure in Shiite Islam. So what does this mean? Well, this is pretty straightforward. The Iranians are encouraging people to take out the president of the United States. That's what they're doing. They are trying to convince people within Islam to rise up and take out Trump. Now, if you watch Ted Cruz's interview with Tucker Carlson, he talked about how Iran is sending assassins after Trump, but they're not very good. I don't really know how true that is or isn't. That's been a rumor that's been out there for a while. I know that the U.S. government does to some degree believe that. But to be quite frank with you, I don't know whether or not there's actual credible threats that the Iranians are trying to kill President Trump. Your guess, quite frankly, is as good as mine. But what would happen? What would happen if Iran successfully hurt or took out the president of the United States? The answer to that is very simple. They would be wiped off the map before breakfast. They would be wiped off the map. We wouldn't even have to use nukes. We have conventional tools in our arsenal that 1,000% could go into Iran and kill their entire leadership if they hurt the president of the United States. And it wouldn't even matter who the president was. Trump, Biden, Obama, George Bush, Bill Clinton, whoever it would be, it would not matter. If Iran hurt the president of the United States or took them out, the United States military would launch a war unlike anything we've seen. There wouldn't be a single leader in Iran left. They would all get smoked. Smoked. 100% smoked. And anyone who thinks they wouldn't is frankly out of their mind. The vengeance the United States would show would be hard to put into words. It would be a bloodbath. That's what the United States would do in retaliation. An absolute bloodbath. So Iran, do I actually think they're going to try this? No, probably not, because they know it would be the end of the regime immediately. They know that they would get destroyed immediately. They know that their time on this planet would be over. But so I don't put too much credibility into this threat. It seems like something they're doing for their own people to keep up appearances. But let's add this to the screen. This says that they are trying to rebuild Fordow. 1 week after the attack, Iran is rapidly accelerating engineering work to reopen access to the Fordow facility. New Maxar satellite images reveal. I can't put the photo up on the screen for you here. Unfortunately, I wish I could, but this says they are attempting to rebuild, and that is according to satellite images. Why is this important? Because we know Donald Trump has made it crystal clear that, let me see if I can find this. He has made it crystal clear that if there is an attempt to rebuild, let's see if I have the video anywhere. Should have the video, but we shall see. Maybe I don't. But Trump has made it clear that if there is any attempt to rebuild, he will not hesitate to bomb them again. He will not hesitate to smoke Iran again. So they're playing a very dangerous game here. They're threatening Trump. They're threatening to take out the president of the United States. They're going to attempt to rebuild the facilities the United States already hit. And if they want to, as they say, fuck around and find out, we shall see what happens. But right now, it looks like Iran might not have gotten the lesson we thought they got. And they're already talking shit again, threatening the president. And now they want to rebuild after 12, 30,000-pound bombs hit that Fordow facility. I don't love it. I think they're testing fate right now. Let's leave it at that. But anyways, please make sure to like and subscribe. Cost you guys nothing. Huge in the algorithm. Comment below. I try to respond to as many comments as I possibly can. You'll see my Instagram and X handles below. Make sure to give me a follow there and then hit that bell. Make sure all notifications are turned on so you don't miss a single video. I'll see you guys all next time. I hope you're enjoying the new format. We're probably going to stick with it moving forward. Let me know.